Hello there. What I thought I'd talk about today is a little bit about physical factors that could be involved in thinking about our mental health. I love the way that Facebook suddenly tries to distract you when you're doing a live feed. It says, congratulations, this is your 25th broadcast. So here I am broadcasting on my own channel. Anyway, coming back to physical factors involved in mental health. And do say hi if you're watching, and I'll see if I can see if I can see you in the comments. Yeah. So I was thinking yesterday, because sometimes what happens is I get people who come in to see me and my counselling practice who tell me that they've had various diagnoses that's actually been affecting the way they feel. And these can be things like, particularly one we know about quite well, is suffering from an underactive thyroid, because that can often lead to people feeling very tired and lethargic. There can also be other things like anemia, lack of particular vitamins as well, like vitamin B12 is one that's involved in sort of feeling tired and feeling really down. So it is worth thinking about your physical health. If perhaps you're, hi Christina, hi, nice to see you, and thanks, yeah, I'm really well. Yeah, so it is worth thinking about your physical health in terms of your mental health. Another friend of mine told me recently that she's actually got an overactive thyroid, and the effect on her is that she constantly feels as though she's racing around, and she has a sort of sense of sort of sweaty anxiety about it, and that's actually due to an overactive thyroid. So sometimes it is worth just checking out any feelings that you've got to see if there's actually a physical cause to the feelings that you've got. I was thinking along these lines, and I remembered that I read a really interesting article recently in one of my professional publications about the effect of diet on people and how that can make them feel. And in particular, the author of the article was referring to what they call the SAD diet, which is aptly named, but actually stands for the Standard American Diet. And this is a diet where perhaps there's quite a lot of consumption of high sugar foods, so the sort of fast burning carbohydrates. And it was really interesting to read the effect that that can have on our well-being and on our feelings, because when we eat a lot of sugar, we get that really sort of sugar high. That produces a lot of insulin in our body, and our body can actually sort of over-release insulin in response to the sugar high, and that means that our sort of levels of energy really drop. And when our level of energies really drop, we tend to produce, I think it's cortisol, and that helps to push our energy levels up again. But also sort of cortisol is a part of a sort of stress type hormones, and so we can feel really sort of tired when we're having this sort of sugar rush, when we get that drop afterwards, but we can also feel sort of quite stressed with it as well. And the other interesting thing that this article was saying, and this really resonated with me, and I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes you can wake up early in the morning with that sort of really sort of fast beating heart and a feeling of dread, and that's due to, or it can be due to, apparently diabetics can suffer this, it can be due to your insulin levels. And they suggest, certainly with diabetics, that the way to counteract this is to have a snack before you go to bed. And I just thought that's very interesting, because that's a classic sign of anxiety, but it could also be a classic sign of the fact that our diets need addressing. So then I went away and I was reading up on the sort of standard advice about feeling tired all the time. So I was sort of having a look to find out the reasons for that. And of course, while there are physical reasons for feeling tired all the time, there also can be lifestyle factors that are part of that. So especially, say, if you've got a young family and you're getting woken up in the night, you're obviously going to feel more tired. If you're overweight, or underweight, that can make you feel more tired. If you're underweight, it's because you haven't got the muscle mass there to help you with your daily activities. And if you're overweight, it's because you're you're having to carry around more. It takes more energy to carry your body around. So obviously weight's a factor. And the other thing, unfortunately, is alcohol consumption. How many of us get to the end of the day and look forward to a glass of wine or a pint of beer in the evening to relax? But unfortunately, drinking alcohol in the evening can affect our sleep, which obviously leads to tiredness. So I was thinking about all of this, and obviously all these things are really important. But when I was thinking about it, I thought, well, why do we overeat? Why do we turn to sugar? I'm a sugar addict, I'm afraid to say. And I'm thinking about why that is. And I'm thinking, what about people who feel when they get to the end of the day, oh, I just want to sit down, relax and have a glass of wine. And what's that about? And I came to the conclusion, as I usually do, that it's about being really kind to ourselves. We all know that we need to eat healthily. Yeah, I don't need to tell you that. We all know that we should reduce our alcohol consumption. We all know that we should take more exercise. And what is it that's stopping us? One of the things I just wanted to mention in regard to exercise is thinking about doing what you enjoy. So often all these things can become sticks that we beat ourselves with. And a friend of mine, I really felt she had the right idea the other day. She said, I know I need to take more exercise. She said, but the only exercise I really enjoy doing is dancing. So I think I'm going to do some salsa dancing. And I just think, yes, brilliant. That is such a good idea, because that's something she's going to be motivated to want to do. It's fun, she enjoys it. And I think that's the thing about exercise. We can all do exercise. We can find the motivation to do exercise if we find something that we enjoy doing. So I used to flog myself and go down to the gym on a daily basis. And, I'm standing in a windowless gym on the treadmill or whatever. I really don't want to be there. And it's so boring. Whatever I do, whether I listen to music or watch the TV or whatever. And I was walking home and I thought, I want to be outside. And so I actually gave up my gym membership and I did a lot more brisk walking, and I really loved that because I love being in the outdoors. And now I'm trying to do a bit more cycling as well, just to sort of increase my heart rate, because sometimes I don't walk briskly enough. But if you're in the UK, it is worth, I've just downloaded it, getting the Active 10 app, which encourages you and motivates you and measures your progress in getting you to have at least 10 minutes brisk walking a day. And the lovely thing about it is it encourages you to do it, but it also tells you whether or not your walking rate is brisk enough, and I really like that. So if you're in the UK, do download the NHS app called Active 10. But coming back to what I was saying earlier, I think we do flog ourselves, and we think, oh God, I've got to drink less, I've got to exercise more, I've got to eat less sugar. And I think we need to look at the underlying reasons why we are actually maybe taking comfort in eating too much sugar, or why we're maybe needing to relax with that glass of wine in the evening. And I think we need to take a deeper look at our lifestyle and actually ask ourselves, what am I doing that maybe I could change? What is it about my life that is really stressful at the moment? And can I address that in any way? And often that comes down to, we're driving ourselves very hard, and it is worth just looking at why we're driving ourselves hard and what that's about. And that's something quite often I will talk about with clients when they come in and they're suffering from anxiety and stress. You need to look at what the stress factors are, and what our mindset is, why it is that we're having to do those particular tasks. And that's something that I can help you with if you need to talk about that. I'd be very happy to discuss that with you. So if that would be of interest to you, please do feel free to contact me. You can contact me via my Facebook page and we can sort something out, either a face-to-face session or possibly something online. So do please feel free to do that if you want. So I do need to finish talking now because I've already gone on for quite a long time. But I think the main thing that I'd like to leave you with, the main thought is, yes, you know, we can flog ourselves to try and change our lifestyle. But I think there's something underlying that. We need to be kind to ourselves and we need to look after ourselves. We need to think that it's not that we have to earn the right to relax. It's not that we have to earn the right to look after ourselves. We are deserving of rest. We are deserving of a healthy lifestyle, just simply because we're human. And so if you need help to reach that place of being, that you feel that you need help in being deserving, not earning the right, but just simply because you're you, and you need help with that self-compassion, then please do feel free to contact me. And obviously I'll go on talking about this when I do my live feeds. Thanks so much for watching, and please feel free to contact me if you'd like. Bye.